Checking your images before you sell them online is massively important because you need to make sure that the image is the best quality that it could possibly be and that it has been prepared correctly with the right information. So we're just going to have a run through some of the things that you need to check before you upload your images to an online image library. So here I have a shot that has some basic processing just to save time so that we don't have to go through that process. And then we're going to take a look at some of the other aspects of the processing that we're going to need to adjust. So first things first, we need to make sure that the image is sharp. And as you can probably guess, I know that this image is sharp. That's why I've spent time processing it. But you can just click on the image in Lightroom and zoom in and move around, and then just make sure that everything is as sharp as it needs to be. So by default, the navigator will take you to 100% when you left mouse click on the image. But if you need to go in further, you can choose 200%, or there are other options when you click on this drop-down menu here. But for most situations, 100% is absolutely perfect. So as I said, this shot is nice and sharp, but if you feel that you need to add a touch more sharpness, you can do so, but do that sparingly because taking the sharpening too far, like there, it creates problems. So we don't want to basically ruin an otherwise perfectly viable image. So what I'm going to do here is just take the sharpening slider over to the right and try to work out where I can achieve the greatest level of sharpness. Now, of course, I could use these other sliders here, but I'm just going to work with the amount because that gives me a nice result and it's just so quick and easy. So there we have the sharpening as it needs to be. Now, what we can do next is just make sure that lens corrections are switched on if they need to be. So you may want to turn on remove chromatic aberration and enable profile corrections. So this loads in the lens profile for the lens that you were shooting with. Sometimes the slight issues a lens creates actually looks better than the corrected version, and I actually prefer it with enable profile corrections turned off because there's a very slight vignette and the way that the distortion works actually complements the scene, I think. So I'm just going to leave that as it is. And while we're down in this area, one thing we can take a look at is if there is any noise. So typically you're going to be shooting at a lowish ISO, and cameras are so good these days that noise isn't often an issue. So if I look around here, I can't see a huge amount of noise. I can't see any, to be honest. Sometimes if you really pull the shadows, you can start to reveal noise in the shadow areas. That's why I'm looking in this part of the image, but there's none here. So if you start to see kind of flecks of grain, you can use the luminance slider, and if you see flecks of color, you can use the color slider. So Lightroom adds a default amount of 25 of color noise reduction, and taking it down to 0 there hasn't changed my image at all. So I'm just going to leave that at 0 because it is not needed. So in terms of image quality, everything is looking good. So now what I'm going to do is go up and correct the white balance because this image isn't quite right. So what I'm going to do first is just zoom into this water. And can you see here that there is a very slight green tint? And it's slightly cold as well with some blue, but I'm going to first work on that green. And the reason why there is a slight green tint everywhere here is because there's so much green in the scene. So everything's going to have an element of green attached to it. So let's just zoom back into that water, and I'm going to take the tint slider over to the right, and you'll see there are points where we kind of neutralize it. So I think, let's just have a look here, an amount of about 25 is going to do the job. So there is also a very slight amount of blue, but for that I'm going to zoom out again and then just take that slider over manually, and that I would say is looking good. So we've neutralized that water, not completely because we don't want to push it too far and affect the kind of mid-tone areas too much, but we've warmed things up and it looks much better already. So this check doesn't really apply to this image because if we did have dust spots, they would be very, very difficult to spot because there's so much detail and texture here. So if it was a shot where we had a large area of sky, if there were any sensor dust spots, we would be able to see them really easily. So I would zoom into 100% and just drag my way around the image, checking for any dust spots. If I see them, I would just use the spot removal tool and remove the sensor dust spots in Lightroom. If there were some over really tricky areas where I needed a greater amount of precision, I would just export the image and do that in Photoshop, where the tools are much more sophisticated and fine-tuned. But for most sensor dust spots in sky areas or areas of continuous tone, it's really, really quick and easy to do that in Lightroom. Okay, so with the image quality all good, we're all ready to go. What we need to do now is hop back into the library and then just double check that the image size is large enough. So here we can see the image size is really nice and big. And then all that we need to do now is we can add keywords here. So this is for search engine optimization. So you can put in any words that relate to the image up to an amount of about 10. And then you can go down to the metadata, add a title, a caption, change the copyright status, put in a copyright info URL and your information here. So once all that's done, we can export the image. One thing that we haven't covered yet, because this image doesn't need it, but I think it's really important that we do consider it, is cropping. So if you have an image where there's just something distracting or not quite working at the edge of the image, or the composition's just slightly off, just make sure that the crop tool is set to original, the lock is on, and then we can just crop out the offending area while maintaining the original ratio of the image. But as I say, this one is absolutely fine, so I'm going to leave that as it is. And then once we've done that, we just need to go to export. So for this, I would export as a JPEG in Adobe RGB 1998, because that's the better color space for printing images. And if an image was going to be used in a magazine, it would be converted to CMYK, and you get a much better conversion from Adobe RGB than you would sRGB. And I'm just going to scroll down. I would make sure that resize to fit is not checked, so we're going to export it at its largest size possible. And after export, we can either set it to open in Photoshop, or we can leave it to do nothing. So there are some of the checks that you can make on your images before you sell them online to make sure that the processing and the image quality is absolutely perfect.